Last week we talked about peptide addiction and how continually rehashing your pain only hardwires and increases your addiction. The addiction to your agony and the narcissist is like every addiction. No matter how many times you indulge in it, the pain returns and the cycle continues. Relief is felt in the moment, but like a sore that gets picked, it grows back and gets sorer and bigger each and every time. Another scary aspect of negative peptide addiction is this. The already damaged cells in your body are constantly splitting and reproducing, with twice the amount of receptor docking points to receive more and more of the victim peptide. And this means the pain gets worse and more frequent. If you have not seen the first part of this series, it will be advantageous for you to watch the initial video first. If you do, this video, part 2, will be much clearer and easier to understand. You can find the link to part 1 below this video. The truth is, if your emotional addiction to destructive peptides is significant enough, no matter what you think, no matter what you know you should be doing, and no matter how much advice you receive, you may find it unbearably painful and impossible to break away from the addiction. To really understand what happened to you energetically as a result of narcissistic abuse, we need to take this journey deeper. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about your inner identity and how it has contributed to your cycle of pain. But before we do, I'd like you to understand a little more about energy. Emotions and energy are not visible. The results are, however, and these results appear in your life every day. You may not have recognized this connection between your emotional vibration and what appears in your outer world. Regardless of whether or not you have made the connection, truly, there are too many situations in your everyday experience that defy being just a coincidence. Take, for example, if you start the day feeling anxious, your boss says something that upsets you and you feel unappreciated. Then you have an unpleasant exchange with a customer, the milk you pour into your coffee is sour, and the report you need for a meeting is nowhere to be found. Things get worse and worse and you feel like you can't wait for this awful day to end. Or maybe you understand what is really going on energetically. And you know that to get out of the outer funk, you have to let go of the frustration and shift your inner funk. So you do. Within 2 minutes, the next customer you approach gives you a lovely compliment. Not long after this, the boss takes you out to lunch and praises your efforts. Whilst at lunch, where you filed the missing document just pops into your head. Now think about this scenario. You have to visit a family member to discuss a sensitive issue. You park at her house with feelings of anger, resentment, and injustice. Was it really a surprise that she was totally hostile towards your way of thinking? Or maybe because you are conscious and you know how energy works. You know that by letting go of your negativity and instead creating thoughts and feelings of loving win-win outcomes, this is what you will most likely create. We know the pain, fear, and negativity of narcissistic abuse feels so big, it's like it has a life of its own. In addition to your peptide addiction, there is a very powerful reason for this. This reason has to do with your inner identity. Your inner self-image is not a match for who you want to become or what you want to experience. You see, whatever we deeply believe about ourselves becomes our truth, and it will automatically play out regardless of what outside stimuli tries to create as the remedy. Let's repeat this because it is vital. Whatever we deeply believe about ourselves becomes our truth. For the rest of this video, I'm going to explain to you why this is the case. So I'd like you to really absorb what I am about to explain. You need to understand what happened to your inner identity when you were narcissistically abused. Not only did you experience abuse, you now believe you are an abused person. Not only did you experience the failure of the relationship, you now believe you fail at choosing, knowing, creating, and experiencing a real or healthy relationship. Not only did you experience loss of faith and trust in love, you now believe you can't trust in love, yourself, or anything in life. Whatever you have accepted as an inner belief about yourself will always be true for you. In fact, there can never be any other reality play out in your life. Your life experience plays out in every moment according to your emotional mood, your emotional vibration. Can you even begin to imagine how powerful negative energy is when it has been accepted as your inner identity? All of these negative ingrained beliefs about yourself have been set up as real. These need to be addressed at the deep levels within you where they first took hold. If they aren't, it is only a different experience that could prove to you that a change of belief is in order. This is a tricky problem. How can you create a different experience regarding something when deep within you, you don't believe you deserve it or have the ability to create it? The truth is you can't. Imagine this. You go for a job. The interviewer asks you, do you have the credentials for this job? You answer, no, I don't. Clearly, you are not going to be hired. Someone else who has the credentials will. Identically, if you are not vibrating at the knowing and the believing of true, healthy and real love, you are not qualified to achieve it. You can't get the position until you are positioned. And you can't get anyone else to give you your qualifications. Because your qualifications, vibration, is your job. I truly believe our infinite inner self knows when we are not a match for what we want to create. And if our inner identity is not a match, we feel needy, desperate, or addicted. We try to get something or someone outside of us to provide us with what we want because instinctively we know we can't do it ourselves. Is it any wonder we can feel so powerless? Many people say to me, I don't know and I can't even feel what real love is. The words know and feel here are crucial. Because if you don't know or feel genuine love, you can't experience it. It is impossible to experience it unless your inner identity is a match for it. The belief, which is the knowing and the feeling, must precede the creation always. To experience genuine love, your inner identity must believe you are worthy of it. We may observe people who have healthy and loving partners and declare, why are those so lucky and I'm not? None of this is potluck. These people were already qualified. They are the vibration of knowing and believing healthy and safe love. You can jump up and down and scream, that's not fair. They didn't have the childhood or the abusive partner I did. You may be dismayed, or you can take control of your life and change it. If you don't change your positioning within yourself, it is powerless and self-defeating to hope that something or someone outside of you will change it for you. And now, as a result of experiencing narcissistic abuse, your inner identity is so far away from the true love you desire, it is screaming in agony for you to transform it. You need to understand this. Logic does not speak to your inner identity because your inner identity is the deep unconscious part of yourself. Advice and factual information is mostly ineffectual. Recognize this. Your unconscious mind is an incredibly powerful tool. As an example, during hypnotic suggestion, the body can experience actual physiological changes, such as increases or drops in temperature and creating blisters from an object that was not the flame it was suggested to be. When beliefs are instilled at the unconscious level, the body's DNA function knows no difference between the real event and the imaginary one. If the unconscious mind accepts a belief, it becomes emotionally and physically real without exception. It just plays out. However, if you cannot believe in getting well or believe in healthy and fulfilling love for yourself, you can't and won't create it. In trying to, you have to battle with your tortured self-identity, which only believes and knows the agonizing stories it has previously accepted. Fortunately, there is a way to teach your inner identity how to let go of the tortured beliefs and gain the knowing of the experience you do want to have, without fruitlessly and painfully hoping to get that knowing from outside sources. And this is going to be explained in the third video in 2 weeks' time. The third and last video of this series will explain to you how to release the pain and the old inner beliefs and transform them into deservedness, self-worth, and the self-belief that you can create the genuine love and life you deserve. And then I'm going to provide you with a 20-minute energy shift session to help you get this process started. So please look out for the next video. If you are not yet a subscriber to New Life, you can sign up to the free newsletter via the link below. By doing so, you will receive 2 free ebooks, How to Do No Contact and Narcissistic Abuse the Truth. Thank you so much for watching this video. And please know that the solutions to your pain, peptide addiction, and inner identity belief systems are not far away. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.